So yeah, two prolific D2C founders and an enabler of sorts in the middle. Extremely interesting. I like them to serve all the content today. But I'll probably do a minute of talking about both of them, at least at a broad level. Especially the fact that I found a lot of dissimilarities as well, but both success paths and one similarity, which is I've had the pleasure of working and servicing and consulting both of the brands. But let's talk more about the dissimilarities. Fast fashion, slow fashion, men's, women ethnic, 95%, I think, I've not asked you, but 95% India customer base, 95% global customer base. You have a celebrity affiliated brand. The brand founder itself is an influencer. A Shark Tank poster boy, and an Indian Angel jury. He's been on the other side, now she's on the other side. So, you know, at least in terms of diversity, we have just a lot to learn from this panel. But I'd like to, you know, stop talking. The edge is off, but if both of you could just briefly speak about your journeys, it would be great for the audience, I think. Aparna, first, please.
Thank you for hosting me, Navin, and a very good evening to everyone. Journey. I get asked this question a lot, and you know, 5 years back, if somebody had asked, you know, me that I would be in a space of fashion, I would have said no way. So I come from the world of tech, did my master's in computer applications, and in those days, you know, when tech was, you know, just about booming, a tech career seemed like the most obvious choice, you know, the most safest, lucrative, obvious choice. And I was in the tech career. I worked for Microsoft for a decade in Silicon Valley and Seattle. So I was living the Indian dream, right? But fashion has always been my passion. So since a very young age, you know, I would love to design. I would like to conceptualize ideas, you know, make my own clothes. I got married, moved to the US. My passion followed me. You know, they say you can take an Indian out of India, but you can't take India out of you. And that's what happened. And just like cricket, just like Bollywood, Indian food, you know, Indian clothing seemed like a way to be connected to India. And so we were at this cusp, and we were thinking, so when I say we, it's my sister and I. And we said, hey, you know, why not we start our own ethnic fashion brand? And it was very different. Like, this is a very fragmented space. And, you know, that's when the opportunity came, right? We said, you know, it's not a switch over from tech to slow fashion, but rather marrying, you know, our purpose to disrupt the space using technology. So it was really marrying our purpose with our passion. And we launched Shobitam. And within 3 days of setting up our store, we got our first order from France. And you know, Navin, that's the power of e-commerce, right? We are doing this product, you know, which is made in India. Our store is headquartered in the US, and the customer is from France, right? So the world of internet commerce really enabled, you know, connecting all three. And we became this brand, you know, that was made in India for the world. And we got 1 order, 2 orders, and now, you know, here we are. We've got tens of thousands of customers. We've sold to 40+ countries. And it's been an exciting journey. No looking back since.
Excellent. Sid, your journey, I'm sure lots of challenges, but it's an absolute hair-raising story. I want you to go ahead.
No, I mean, yeah, thanks. My background is completely flip side of hers. I failed my graduation and run, you know, India's fastest growing fashion tech brand today. So, I mean, I basically started off at the age of 17, 18 with a very small retail store in Bangalore, wherein I used to sell surplus clothing. From there on, I got into trading, and then from there on, I got into manufacturing. In 2019 is when we started SNITCH, more like a B2B brand, wherein the ultimate goal was every brand was following a traditional pattern that was making collection season-wise. So our ultimate goal was, while brands like H&M and Zara were disrupting the traditional model of business, why couldn't we do it in India? Since majority of the products which Zara and H&M manufacturers are made in India. And we don't have an Indian brand, right? So that was the whole thought process. Usually it takes about 6 to 12 months for any brand to launch a particular collection. We broke the supply chain, brought that below 30 days. And today, as promised by our brand, we launch, at least 3 to 5 styles every single day. Like I said, 2019, we started more like an offline B2B brand. We got tremendous success. Within 9 months, COVID hit us. We were left with a huge inventory. The first thing that came on my mind was going online, maybe on a Myntra or an Ajio, try and liquidate stock. But then realized that, we wouldn't be making money there, nor the brand would get any recognition. And that's when we started our own website in June of 2020. And it's been about 3 years. It's been a roller coaster ride for us. Today we ship anywhere between 10 to 15,000 pieces every single day. 70% of the revenue comes through our own website, about 20% from the marketplaces, and 10% from the online stores that we've just started. This is where we are.
Thanks so much. Now that we've got the businesses and their introductions and backgrounds out of the way, we kind of deep dive into a few areas. One of them is, I think you touched based upon that a little about the influence of technology and digital to really reach your consumer, and especially being a global consumer. How did you think about it? How did you kind of manifest that, and how the India ecosystem is now ripe for that? If you can just talk about your thoughts about the tech and digital ecosystem.
So if you look at the entire chain, it's such a wide spectrum, right? So on one end, our suppliers, our weavers, artisans, they are in these remote, small places, scattered across the length and breadth of India, where there's hardly any penetration of technology. On the other hand, we have all these, international consumers. So how do we really connect the two? It is completely technology, right? So that's where technology comes in. And like you said in the beginning, we've leveraged industry-leading partners like Navin, your team, with GreenHonchos, similarly Bharti and her team for Shopify Plus. And then we also have our own proprietary solutions, right? For example, how do you drive complete inventory visibility? We have our own proprietary app that, completely tells the life cycle of every product in our dynamic catalog. Similarly, we have a patent pending, world's first blouse stitching bespoke solution. Navin, if you think women are complex, getting the perfect measurements to stitch that perfect blouse is even more complex. And we've just cracked that, and it's the world's first bespoke blouse stitching solution, like I mentioned. So all this is possible purely because of technology. And if you really think about it, you get customer insights, you make those connections with the customer. You can see, what journey the customer has taken before they actually landed up buying your product. Based on that, you can give them personalized recommendations, drive conversions, email marketing. All of that has really been possible through the use of technology.
I think that's very insightful. Thanks for sharing. Sid, I'll just double down on this question a little more. Clearly a digital-first brand, and scaling new heights and kind of breaking borders as well. But we've talked often about it. You've break barriers at certain points. In the tech and digital roadmap, your adoption has been quick. You've been able to try all tech much faster. I think that agility has really helped, and you've actually dived right in. I think many a times with eyes closed, and maybe you had your eyes open then, but the app, for example, or the phygital when to open the store. What have been the trigger points for you to figure out the cross between a phygital brand and, try these, tech enablers to add facets to the brand and its growth?
I mean, look, for us, it was very clear that if we had to be in everyone's wardrobe, we had to be in their pockets. And that was the whole thought process, right? That's when we launched our app. I mean, we had a lot of discussion internally whether we should launch the app, we should not launch the app. But then I always believe that if you want to be in every men's wardrobe, you'll have to be there in their pockets. And the easiest way was, build an app. And that's when we barely got a plugin and just integrated with our backend. And now, of course, we've custom built it. But that's been a game changer for us. I mean, 55% of our revenue today comes from the app. And that's a phenomenal number, right? And that's free of cost. There's no CAC involved. You could send push notifications whenever you want to. And I think timing was very important. It's just been about 2 years since we launched the app. We have over 2 million downloads on the app. Same with offline retail. I thought the timing was perfect. We had to go offline, get closer to consumers, where our AOV is almost 2.5x, the returns are almost zero. And apparel is always going to be the touch and feel sort of a factor. And that was the whole idea behind going offline. We always had plans to go offline, but I think the timing was very, very crucial. And thankfully that paid off. The stores are doing phenomenally well, and now we're looking to expand more offline.
Excellent. Now, I think, just more public interest and curiosity. You'd like to know what the Shark Tank experience was like. We probably watched it a few times. That's something that, I'll just reverse the order and ask you about first. What's it done for the brand? How has it been an experience for you personally? What did you discover and uncover that you didn't think about earlier?
I mean, it was the most phenomenal journey, right? The experience has been surreal. We got tremendous sort of trust in marketing through the platform. And I think anyone and everyone should actually go to Shark Tank, because even if you're not going to get funded, you'll probably learn something. If you don't learn something, you might get some sort of marketing and boost your sales. So there's nothing that you would lose. For me, it was just that my marketing team did everything, and they told me, boss, you'll have to go, so and so are the dates. And thankfully, it went out, really well. And, we were already at a very good scale that time. So the experience has been surreal. I would definitely recommend every D2C brand, no matter what space you are into, you should actually go to Shark Tank. And the sort of exposure that you get towards the audience and the sort of trust that you build. And especially being a D2C brand, right? People don't know what is the face behind the brand. And that was the biggest leverage, I think, because people connected to me and then they connected to the brand.
Excellent. That's a good hat tip there. A similar question on the other side of the table to you, Aparna. Now, you're an angel on the other side making decisions in, a couple of our clients. And, I saw the full page ad everywhere on one day about Jio and the Indian Angels. And I saw Shrida from 𝗙𝗵𝗁 company. I saw you, and both have been our clients, and it's very exciting for us. I messaged you guys immediately. How's that experience been from two aspects? One is being on the other side and seeing how Shark Tank has gone, and how's it been, because obviously you've got more behind the scenes. Everything's already, probably produced, is yet to be telecast. And the other is seeing two women entrepreneurs on that jury, and both our clients, as another hair-raising moment. So, I would love for your thoughts on it.
So, there's been times when, Bollywood celebrities were celebrated. Cricketers were celebrated. I think this is the era now where entrepreneurs are going to be celebrated. And we're going to see more and more of these shows, right? Coming from the investor point of view, one thing is to watch the show on air. Second is, actually interacting, real time with people who've come from various parts of India. the energy that they carry and, how they present their ideas, despite all the odds in their lives, they have a very strong idea and they're, no matter what, the ambition and the dreams, the vision that they have, that was very humbling. It was very, very humbling. And it was an amazing experience. We just got done with season 1 shoot a month and a half ago. The shows have actually been dropped on JioCinema. And, from the woman standpoint, I think I do connect more with other women entrepreneurs. For the simple reason, we want to reduce the gender parity, right? No matter what you say, there is a huge disparity in the startup space between men and women, right? Even more in the number of entrepreneurs, the women entrepreneurs are actually funded. So that cause is actually very dear to me. So I think it's also because, we try to juggle too much. We're not able to say no. So, that's one reason why we recently partnered with 𝗵𝗁𝗀𝗀 earlier this year, and we've set up the Shobitam Center for Women Entrepreneurship to hone young women to, help their ideas take flight, be entrepreneurs, and keep them on their mission. Yeah.
Great thoughts on that. I think, we just probably have one last thought from each of you. We'll start with you, we'll end with you. What advice or what tip would you have for D2C brand owners at this point? Because, I think there's no one cap fits all. Probably what worked pre-COVID, what worked in 2021, probably is not the same formula that works in 24. Folk keep asking the same question. We want to do what SNITCH is doing. We want to do what Shobitam is doing. What's your response to that, and what's the script that you can give me for it?
Very simple mantra. Just, when you know that your heart is telling you something, and, day by day, that feeling gets, bigger and bigger, you just have to listen to yourself, follow that, no matter where you are.
Last thoughts from you, please.
No, my simple advice is start, because a lot of people in India dream a lot and get great ideas in the morning, in the night, and then by morning it flushes out. I think it's very, very important to start, back yourself, no matter what that idea is. Your parents might say you're crazy, your friends might say you're crazy, but if you and your team believe it, just go for it, and that's what I've always believed with every decision that we've taken. Collectively as a team, we've decided that yes, this is the path that we need to follow, and just backed ourselves and, did everything possible to cross the lines, and touch wood, we've been successful till now. So I think my only advice is start, back yourself, build a great team, and then just follow your passion.
Thank you so much, guys. We're done for our time. Anish, I've stuck to my slots. Bhavesh, we're off in time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.